Good afternoon. I'm Westchester County Executive Ken Jenkins, and today we are here inside because of our weather. In emergency services, first we want to thank our commissioner here, Susan Spear, and for all the folks in emergency services. But we are standing here today to be able to sign the legislation the Board of Legislators adopted unanimously on Monday, which is their EpiPen legislation. Westchester County is taking an important first step here in protecting our residents and strengthening our public safety response. And by signing this legislation into law, we're going to ensure that the relevant county police officers are equipped and trained to administer EpiPens, which is a simple, life-saving tool that can make all the difference in a medical emergency. Westchester is now only the second county in New York State to enact this law, and I'm proud that we're setting the standard for preparedness and compassion. We want to first thank the Chairman of the Board of Legislators, Vidat Gashi, for introducing this legislation and his leadership in seeing it through. Certainly all of the members of the Board of Legislators were co-sponsors of that legislation. We want to say a special thank you to Majority Whip and Public Safety Chair Terry Clemens, Legislator Colin Smith, and Legislator Nancy Barr, who recognized the life-saving importance of this measure and worked together to get it done. We are standing here this afternoon with members of the Westchester County Department of Public Safety, and our chief, Jim Luciano, will be able to speak to us in just a moment. We're also joined this afternoon with Georgia Quinago, who the law is named for, Gio's Law, for the Giovanni Foundation founder, and she'll give us more information about our son and why it's important for us doing this here today. And Stacy Science, whose son, Jared Science, who's a Horace Greeley High School student, suffers from serious allergies, and who additionally brought this to our attention. Legislators will be introduced by the chairman, Vidat Gashi, and we'll make sure that each one of them has an opportunity to bring their thoughts to us as well on this very important day today. We want to certainly thank the members of our Westchester County Department of Public Safety, who every day respond to emergencies, for their commitment in keeping every Westchester resident safe and everyone who comes through our county safe, and for their willingness to take on this additional responsibility. This law is named in memory of Giovanni Gio Cipriano, a young man whose life was tragically cut short because the EpiPen was not available when he needed it most. And while nothing can take away the family's pain, we certainly can make sure that their loss leads to change, and that no other family in Westchester has to experience this preventable tragedy like this one. And that's what good government is about: listening to our residents, responding to needs, and acting quickly to protect our communities. Allergic reactions can happen anywhere at any time. Having trained officers with EpiPens means faster response times, better outcomes, and saves lives. And this legislation reflects the best of Westchester: collaboration, compassion, and common sense. And we're hopeful that other counties and all the counties around the state of New York will take an opportunity to look at the example that's been set, certainly by Suffolk County, here in us in Westchester County. I know that there's legislation moving in Nassau County as well, to be able to follow suit. At this time, I'm going to ask our chief of the department, Jim Luciano, to come up and share his thoughts. Jim.
Thank you, Mr. County Executive. This is another great day in Westchester County. I would like to commend the Westchester County Board of Legislators for passing this important new law that allows our county police officers to carry and administer EpiPens during medical emergencies. This is a tremendous step forward in public safety and community care. I would also like to extend my sincere thanks to County Executive Ken Jenkins for his leadership and for signing this measure into law so swiftly. His commitment to supporting first responders and protecting our residents ensures that life-saving action can happen when it's needed most. In cases of anaphylaxis, every second truly counts. Our officers are often the first to arrive on scene, and now they'll have one more tool that can quite literally save a life before EMS arrives. This initiative reflects what policing in Westchester County is all about: service, preparedness, and compassion. It brings peace of mind to families and strengthens the bond of trust between law enforcement and the community we serve. I'm proud of this forward-thinking measure and the men and women of our department who stand ready to protect and save lives in every possible way.
Thank you, Jim. At this time, we're going to have the chairman of the Board of Legislators speak. Then we're going to have Georgina Cornago and then Stacy Sines speak, and then we'll have our individual legislators speak. Then we'll sign the piece of legislation, and then we'll come back for a few more moments. At this time, the chairman of the Board of Legislators, Vidal Gashi.
I'd like to begin by recognizing my colleagues very quickly, even though they're going to speak in a moment, but we have Majority Whip and Chair of Public Safety, Terry Clements here. We have David Tubiolo, Legislator David Tubiolo, Legislator Nancy Barr, Majority Leader David Imamura, and Legislator Judah Holstein here. I don't think I missed anybody. Oh, and Jewel Williams Johnson, right over there. Sorry, she was hiding. So the response to this law has already been fantastic, and I think it makes sense why. The more families are dealing with allergies, and the reactions to these allergies are more and more serious. This impacts so many people. And one of the bits of coverage that we got, I think the anchor afterwards said something like, it really is a simple solution, isn't it? And the answer is yes, but the anatomy of that, making that simple solution actually come to pass, takes a whole lot of people coming together. And we'll start with Jared Sines, who I understand is taking AP US government exam right now. We wish him the best and regret that he can't join us because it was Jared reaching out with Stacy, his mother, and asking for this bill that started it for me. Other colleagues of mine had explored similar initiatives in the past, but when this proposal came through, I was incredibly heartened to have every member of the Board of Legislators, all 17 of us, come together and co-sponsor this bill because we all understood how important it was. Part of the reason we were able to do it is because the state passed enabling legislation that allowed us to get into it. And of course, the county executive and the Department of Public Safety, acting with speed and diligence, making sure that this isn't just something we say, but that we're going to be able to enact. And actually, part of that enacting process requires up to 9 months of planning, making sure that the correct training and readiness to be able to actually enact this. But it really is a collective effort. It really is the best example of how when everybody's pulling together in the same direction, we really can accomplish some amazing things. And it is the very sincere highlight of my tenure, maybe, to be able to pass a law that has a chance to save somebody's life. And I'm incredibly honored to be here. I thank everybody who took part in making it happen, including Jared Sines, who, again, we wish him the best of luck in his AP exam. Thank you all for being here with us today. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, we're going to hear from Georgina Cornago, whose son is Gio, who the state law is named after, and we were able to opt into at this time. So, Ms. Cornago.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Georgina Cornago, founder of the Love for Giovanni Foundation, and most importantly, Giovanni's mother. To stand here today as Westchester County officially signs the Giovanni Cipriano Act into law is a moment beyond words. It's deeply emotional and it's incredibly meaningful, not just for my family, but for every family who lives with the reality of food allergies and anaphylaxis. This law ensures that Westchester County police officers will be trained and equipped to carry epinephrine, giving them the tools to save a life when seconds matter. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to County Executive Ken Jenkins, whose leadership continues to make this county safer, to legislator Vedat Gashi, whose compassion, dedication, and commitment to public safety brought this bill forward, to Stacey Science, whose tireless efforts and advocacy have been instrumental in making this day a reality. And of course, a special thanks to Jarrett for using your voice so powerfully to remind us that when it comes to saving lives, there is no price too high. We already know that this law saves lives. In Suffolk County, just days after officers were equipped with epinephrine, they saved the life of a man suffering from a severe allergic reaction to a bee sting. That moment showed exactly what Gio's Law is all about. Being prepared to act when seconds truly matter. And let's not forget Lynbrook, my hometown, where this effort began. Their early support and success helped spark the movement that now is spreading across the state. And today, right here in Westchester, we're taking it to a whole new level. For those living with food allergies, and even for those who might one day face an unexpected first-time reaction, this law provides hope, safety, and a fighting chance. Giovanni once wrote in a book he finished, "I just want to tell all my friends, never let anyone get in your way and try hard to achieve your goal." Those words guide me every single day. And today, I think he's proud. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Georgina. At this time, we're going to have Stacey Science, who's, I think she's trying to write a note for Jared to make sure that he has extra credit on his test today at this time. Stacey.
Thank you. My name is Stacey Science, and I'm the mother of Jared Science, who was born with 26 anaphylactic allergies. I want to take a moment here to first thank County Executive Ken Jenkins for your leadership in getting this law to the finish line and for all you do for Westchester County. I also would like to thank all 17 Westchester legislators who signed onto this bill and recognize the importance and are protecting everyone in Westchester. I want to take an extra minute to share our gratitude for my Westchester County legislator and the chairman, Vedat Gashi. We have such gratitude for Vedat Gashi, who not only met with my son Jared to listen to him when he approached him to discuss food allergies and how it's a rising health risk here in Westchester County and around the world. He proposed a legislative solution, and Chairman Gashi then took what Jared said in that meeting and immediately met with his team and the other Westchester legislators and went into action and made this law a reality. I also want to take a minute to thank all of the first responders and the county police. Without you, this law could never be a reality. You are the first responders. You are the ones who are truly saving lives, and the idea that you will now have the education and the tools to help you do this on a daily basis. We can't thank you enough for all that you do. Lastly, I'd like to thank Georgina, who sadly lost her son Gio to an allergic reaction. Georgina was the inspiration behind my son going to meet with Chairman Gashi, and this legislation will now provide the first responders with all the tools they need when minutes can be the difference between life and death. You can never protect people completely from having food allergies, but you can educate people on how to save someone having an allergic reaction, and this law will truly do that in Westchester County, so thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Stacey. And we're all still working on good luck for Jared as he continues to do his test work. What we're going to do for test work right now is we're going to sign this legislation, then we're going to come back and hear from all of our legislators and get their thoughts on this, and then we'll get some final thoughts. So at this time, we're going to hop on over. All right. All righty. Yeah, the hard work was done by the Board of Legislators. I just get the chance to sign. All right? So, well, obviously a lot of work before that. So this law was Act 2025-211, which was passed by the Board of Legislators of the County of Westchester, New York, by a vote of 17-4 and 0 against on the 6th day of October 2025. It's signed by the Clerk of the County Board of Legislators, Malika Sunday Vanderberg, and we have dated so far. One of the opportunities to do this. We have a law. So the first pen is going to Georgina.
Thank you so much.
Mom. Second one is to Mom Dukes, to Stacy, Jason. Mr. Chairman, and our Chair of Public Safety, Terry Clemens, right? At this time, let's hear from the Board of Legislators. I'm going to do it in the order that I am told that I'm supposed to. I'm just kidding. I'm the Chairman. The Majority Leader, David Imamura, will be followed by the Chair of Public Safety, Terry Clemens, and then legislators David Tubiolo, Nancy Rohr, and Jewel Williams-Johnson, if she's vice.
Thank you, Mr. County Executive. It's a real pleasure to see this law this bill signed into law. So before I was a county legislator, I was a kid with a peanut allergy. And I remember very clearly being 5 years old and going to make a bird feeder with a pine cone with peanut butter, and that's how I learned that I was allergic to peanuts, because I felt my throat closing at the time. So I know how critical it is to have an EpiPen. My EpiPen's in my car, right, so no one give me peanuts right now. Right? But I know how critical it is to safeguard people's lives, right, by taking these actions. And Westchester County can, must, and should do everything it can to ensure that people have access to epinephrine at times where minutes and seconds matter. So thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to both of you so much for everything you've done. And I look forward to seeing Westchester take the lead in ensuring that we have epinephrine for everyone in these contexts. So thank you so much.
Terry.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I am very excited about this bill, particularly because after it was passed in Suffolk County, an officer had to take quick action and use an EpiPen to save a resident within days of the program's start, powerfully demonstrating how preparedness turns tragedy into hope. This initiative is about putting the well-being of our families first, honoring the memory of those lost to anaphylaxis, and making the promise that no matter where an emergency strikes, help will be ready. We're grateful to the advocates, the moms that are here today, and bipartisan support who helped make this life-saving step a reality. As Chairman of Public Safety, this is very important that every person in Westchester can be safe, and we're hoping that this will not only just be a county initiative, but that some of our partners in the county will also do this. It's very important. Unfortunately, I've been an educator, and unfortunately, we had a bad experience at my school where a third grader was bitten by a bee and there was no help for him, and he passed away. This happened about 10 years ago. So for me, it was personal, and I'm so happy about this law, and I want to thank the county executive. I want to thank Ken Jenkins. I would like to thank also Vidat Gachi for coming forward and bringing this to the board, and all my colleagues, because what they're all doing is saving lives. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much to everyone involved in this. Of course, our wonderful, amazing mothers. Without great mothers, there's nothing in this world. And of course, the leadership, and well, I have to say, moms are the best, facts. And of course, the leadership from the chairman, the chair of public safety, and of course, the county executive and the team. This is why we're here. Good government, helping people, helping now and tomorrow and forever. This is what we're doing, making change to save lives. And I thank the Department of Public Safety. I thank the Department of Emergency Services. You truly are the true 1%, and you make our society run and function, and we're here with you together to support you in anything you need, and we're saving lives. And I thank you for being on the front lines. And on that note, the next legislator.
Thank you. My name is Nancy Barr. I represent Portchester, Rybrook, and Harrison. And David stole what I was going to say, part of it anyway. Congratulations to the moms. The moms always know how to get things done. And we really appreciate all the work that you've done on this, of course, as well as our chair and our public safety department and our county executive. I was first made aware of this law, the fact that we would be able to pass this law by the business manager of one of the villages I represent, Portchester. And he said Portchester is very interested in passing something like this. And I think that that would be fantastic. If we could get all of our police departments to be able to carry EpiPens and be able to be on the scene when needed, it would be amazing. So I hope that this starts something within the county, within all of the different departments, so that every single person in Westchester, wherever they may be, if they are in need of an EpiPen, it will be nearby with somebody who is trained to use it. So I really appreciate that we've been able to pass this legislation. I appreciate all the cooperation we've had, and I really encourage all of our local communities to pass a bill as well. Thank you.
So I will echo all of the comments that have made here, but I'm going to share a couple personal stories. First of all, it was not quite 25 years ago when my daughter determined accidentally that she was allergic to peanuts. And so her mother, I can't take credit for it, was the champion of getting in our school, in her school, allergy-safe tables and allergy solutions to protect her safety. So it is really true that the mothers are the true heroes here. They are the champions, and I'm grateful now to be a part of making it even more safe for my daughter, my children, and all children and people throughout Westchester with this law. The other thing I want to mention is we're talking a lot about the epinephrine and the EpiPen itself. I think something that is also so valuable that I've learned through having a daughter with severe anaphylactic allergies is the training is so valuable. I can tell you a story about 15 years ago, I believe it was, when my daughter had a reaction and got some bad advice because of someone who was not trained. Fortunately, everything turned out okay, but the training is so valuable. People have to understand how to use the EpiPen, when to use the EpiPen, when not to use the EpiPen, and the fact that the EpiPen only lasts 10 to 20 minutes. It's not a final solution. You can't just take an EpiPen injection and walk away. You still need that emergency care. So thank you to the mothers, Georgina and Stacy. Thank you to our chairman and to our chair of public safety, to our county executive, to all the folks on the board who have advocated for this, but most importantly, thank you to our public safety folks who will help make sure these lives are helped every day. Thank you.
So thank you, everyone, for the comments today. Again, when we have an opportunity for legislation that gets enacted, and this is one of those opportunities that shows two different things. One is that the leadership between Georgina and the foundation for GEO's foundation, and getting a law adopted in the state of New York was one opportunity. But the continued follow-up and work meeting with a constituent, meeting with a young man who is taking a test today, right? But meeting with that young man and sitting down with a legislator, in this case, the chairman of the Board of Legislators, but a constituent in his district, and being able to listen and hear and be able to take that into action. It is an example of what I guess he's taking on his test today. He probably should get an A for just this part of it, but be able to do that navigation and then being able to connect to the law and then the legislative process that happens. And yes, it can happen more quickly than other times, but the reality is that there's so many people that you've heard the stories of from the legislators themselves, whether it's personal or someone that they knew, to be able to enact this. And then with the professionalism of not only our Department of Public Safety to be able to figure out a way to do this, but our Department of Emergency Services who has many of these tools in their toolbox already. But our public safety individuals, the cops, the police officers on the street don't always have that. So having a law like this that helps us to do this, and whatever other parts of that, we didn't talk about storage and all those things that have to happen because weather, especially the weather that is more likely to have something that happens with a bee sting is warmer, and the medication has to be kept at a certain temperature or it is not useful. So we're going to continue to do all of this work, and this is an opportunity to do this. For all of us, we all have a story, but I always like to tell the story of the 7th County Executive, Andy Spano, and his wife, who was infamous for making sure that she let you know that she had a peanut allergy and where her EpiPen was in her bag. Brenda Resnick Spano let us always know, and when you sat down to dinner with them or went out with them, Brenda would say, my EpiPen's in the bag, if this happens, and here's what you should do. And most of the times, the first time you hear that, it might be a little bit disconcerting for folks, and that's why training, as Legislator Holstein said, is so very important. Our professionals do this every day, and we always thank them for their professionalism and their continued work. But for all of us, we know we're not just signing a law, we're making a commitment just to people of Westchester, people that travel through Westchester, a commitment that when help is needed, it's going to be there, and a commitment that every life is worth protecting, and a commitment of turning tragedy into purpose in honor of Geo and every family who has to live in fear of severe allergies. I'm County Executive Ken Jenkins. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for our legislators in moving forward with Geo law. Thank you so much, Giovanni, for Georgina, for your leadership in the foundation, Stacy, and certainly we got to give him a shout out again because I know he's going to watch on the YouTube later on, and he'll know that we gave him the shout out for all of the work that he did, for Jared, his leadership, and the continued work that everybody can make a difference. Thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.